Hello, wonderful person, and welcome to a spiritual pep talk just for you. And our topic today is when the world has gone mad. Oh, has the world gone mad? Has the world always been going mad? I mean, to my personality right now, there's certainly madness, and that kind of madness, that craziness that comes from feeling that we're separate. And what do we do? How do we pep ourselves up? How do we move forward when the world has gone mad, when we've forgotten that we're one, and when these acts of aggression, whether in small circumstances within our lives, within our minds, within communities, or within the countries of the world, go upside down, inside out, and crazy apeshit nutso? What do we do? What do you do? So I want you to take this moment and ask yourself, what do you do when faced with madness? That kind of madness that aligns us out of our alignment. Isn't that something? The paradox aligns us out of our alignment, that misaligns us, that takes us off the mark. What do you do when that happens? I can tell you what I used to do. I used to feel such incredible rushes of pain in my body and then call other people to talk about it and call other people and talk about what we'd seen and what we'd heard and talk about it in a way that did feel better in the moment, like releasing something. But what I've come to know over many years of being devoted to wanting to transform ache and anguish into positive, constructive energy I can use to actually solve the problems that I feel or see. What I've learned is that modality, which is so natural in the kind of the unnatural defended sense. It's so natural when we forget that we're infinite. It's so natural to reach out and want to talk about the atrocities and to feel the outrage and the pain and to feel the tears of it. And I never recommend not feeling it, but feel it to the degree that it actually gives you energy to move forward. When the world has gone mad, it is incumbent upon you and it's incumbent upon me to go sane. And what is sanity? What is that? That brand of sanity that will actually be able to shift dark energy into light so that we can personally use it for ourselves, for those we love, and for everyone and everything. So that when the world has gone mad, it's a time to really get in your authority and say, get thee back. I will not be seduced into that. I will not turn to a blind eye or a numb heart to what's going on. But what I will do is, first, I will find the corresponding note in me where I act in ways on the continuum of madness. And I want to tell you, but for the few enlightened masters on the planet, we have madness within us. Not the kind of madness I call good. I think if we're on the planet, crazy or madness is actually part of the job description. We get to choose whether we're going to be crazy whole or crazy separate, crazy positive or crazy negative, crazy happy or crazy miserable. Those are our choices. Being in a body, being separate from our infinite source and pretending that we're separate, I mean, it's a really pretty crazy game. Well played, greater Lord, how I would say. And where we come into our free will is to choose that. So when we're feeling that madness in the world and we're lamenting it to a degree that just gets us sucked down into the mire, into that pit of despair, we are then contributing to that negative energy, not transforming it, which is our job if we so choose it. Our mission, if we choose to accept it, and I believe that if you're with me now, you are choosing to accept it, is to find within us the power that is greater than any force or any human army or any artillery or any nuclear bomb or any shame or any type of cut off from what we truly long for. We have within us that power, and that is crazy in a positive state. It's said that the term mad can also be used for people who are God intoxicated. In one of the Indian dialect languages, which I'm not sure which it is, there's the word must, pronounced must but spelled M-A-S-T, and that's for the God intoxicated, as to be distinguished from the madness, actual crazy, separate from our infinite self. And if you know me, you know that don't take that three-letter word with all of its judgment that you might have with it. If you do, some people don't. I've healed with that word. I used to think it was a swear word due to the fighting that I did, and now I can accept it as how I interface with something greater than myself, which is in me and around me. But that God intoxicated, or the kind of crazy that comes from separate from source. And let's choose now. I am choosing, and if you're with me, I believe you're choosing the kind of intoxication that doesn't actually lead us to be separate from seeing the world, unless you're one of those souls that are on that kind of evolutionary plane. But for the rest of us mortals that are just awakening to our divinity, we get to choose that crazy and align it with universal truth. So in this moment, I'm feeling an extraordinary opening of energy, like the gates of heaven and earth opening, which is what 1111 signifies in any event. That kingdom of heaven down on earth, and us as instruments for it. So I'm going to invite you to breathe into your whole being. I always do this 360-degree breathing. That although it's coming in through your nose, let it come in through your nose with your tongue rested on the back of your teeth, on the top of your palate. Let your gaze be loose. If it's open at all, let it be going about 3 feet in front of you with your eyes descended, or closing your eyes with letting your gaze come to your Ajna chakra, which is right between your third eye. And every time I guide you in this, which you'll be hearing in all of my sessions, and if you've been with me a while, let this be almost a Pavlovian experience, where you immediately hear my voice guiding you to relax your hands, have the fingers up like antennae to receive. Relax your pelvic floor so you're not squeezing on your buttocks muscles. Unless you're sitting in cross-legged 7 lotus position, let your feet be flat. And let your feet and your root, the base of your spine and your perineum, your pelvic floor be open, so that that energy center and your earth chakra energy center, which is about a foot below your root chakra, are open and pulsating and sending roots, golden roots, to the golden planetary mother. I just said globe and golden together. I like that, globe and planetary mother. Sending deep into the molten core, the fire in the center of this infinitely strong planet, infinitely guided force, mother force, and let those roots go around the whole globe so that you are able to take up all the nutrients of this earthly mother. And then make sure your shoulders are relaxed and your jaw is loose so it's not tense. We tend to get balled up in our smaller vision, our my small will, my kind of will that comes from forgetting that I'm one gets kind of balled up in our jaw and our hips. So just relaxing both of those. And calling on Divine Mother energy, however you know it. From Christian traditions, it might be Divine Mother Mary. From Hindu traditions, it may be of the goddesses of Lakshmi and Durga and Saraswati and Layla. From the Greek traditions, it might be of Aphrodite or Athena. From the Jewish tradition, it might be Esther. In Hindu, it might be Radha. From the Meher Baba tradition, it would be Mara. But however you know the Divine Mother now, we need Divine Mother energy combined with our conscious connection with Earthly Mother energy to birth a new way of interfacing with this kind of madness that arrays one against the other, thought against thought, feeling against feeling, person against person, tribe against tribe, nation against nation. We need that energy of the feminine divine, of the energy that surrenders to the infinite greater love and acts in accordance with that without any fear or hesitation. And breathe into this energy, infusing you, the divine mother energy coming through your crown, pulsating in golden light as well, as the golden planetary mother brings up, sends up through your roots as you draw that in, the nourishment for the strength of your human form. And we are letting the love, strength, the wisdom of our eternal and earthly beings mix so that we can act together to first dissolve the madness in our minds that tells us that we don't matter, that we're not enough, that we're repulsive, that we're too much, that we don't have everything we need within us plus. We need that energy to be able to withstand the experiences in our interpersonal relationships that are hurtful, that are separate, that seem to be in betrayal or abandonment or in harshness. We need to forgive ourselves with that forgiving, compassionate, feminine energy of the unconditionally loving divine mother who always says yes to her babies, always forgives. So forgiving ourselves for all of those words and actions and deeds that have come from selfishness or hatred, for all those promises given but not fulfilled, for all those times we acted in ways to get a rush of sensation in our body but was so discounting the person we were with. We forgive ourselves for those times, maybe even today, that we wished harm would befall others, any others. And oh, in the infinite compassion of the divine parents, let yourself feel the wash of that forgiveness, because in a world gone mad, we need to be forgiveness ninjas, able to see from our earthly and greater perspective what's happening and act in alignment with the path that is going to take us out of this seemingly endless cycle that humans have gotten themselves in since there were humans. And so right now I'm going to guide us to have the perspective of your own body, feeling your own body, imagining the cells and the organ systems and the energy systems, however it is that you can get in touch with this reality in this physical world of your body and your body systems. And letting it be firmly anchored to the earth, I'm going to guide you to rise your perspective above your body, above your head, so that you're looking down at your form, so secure, so safe in this moment, surrounded with a panoply of golden light, every level of your being, from your energy being to your physical being to all of the levels of your existence. And then go up farther, so you're about 30 feet above, and you're just going to keep moving, pulsing, almost like with wings, that you have wings on your body that are bringing you higher and higher, or you're being held by how you know the forces of the greater, the infinite greater itself, or the highest light forces, including those winged creatures that we see in our mind's eye. And you're just going higher and higher until you're going out of the Earth's atmosphere and you're going out into the solar system, and you're seeing with perspective this pale blue dot called Earth, as Carl Sagan said. And farther out until you're now into the far reaches of the Milky Way galaxy, but in a spot that you have a direct alignment to where your body is in time and space. And you can look around and see all of the activity of creation happening. And at this point, take a big spiritual breath and a big spiritual release breath as the hold that the seeming attachments to people, places, and things on earth naturally dissolve now. Those are the unhealthy attachments, the spiritual unhealthy cords, the limiting mental beliefs, and the physical conditions that don't serve you, affecting the most positive, high vibrational change in your world and in the world. In this space, at the far reaches of the Milky Way galaxy, with the perspective of the countless other galaxies, your personality feels free and purified, and is being purified in this moment to be able to send you back new and revitalized, with that ache and anguish transformed into pure, creative life force fuel. And now, feeling invigorated, start to bring yourself back like the superhero that you are, and you've seen this portrayed in many movies and books and in comics, and fly yourself back on your own volition, on your own infinite power, back to the time and space where you are taking into perspective what's going on in the earth and in your body and mind and in your relationships, until you hover in the spot now, a few feet above your precious human form. This unique flower that has no use beyond its shining lifetime, and its use is to serve your soul's awakening, to serve your sanity, to your perspective, to your true sight, to dissolve the madness caused by the delusion of being separate from source energy, from the Om point. And then re-enter your body like you are merging with a lover, in the ecstasy of that union being fulfilled and the purpose of creation being manifested in this moment, materialized in your form and in your thoughts, that you are here when the world has gone mad, to be a living force, an unstoppable, eternal, indestructible force for truth, for oneness, for love, for compassion, for faith, and the ability to finally affect a new way of handling conflict that doesn't involve annihilation and suppression and heinous acts, whether they are to our own precious selves through our thoughts, to others with our words, or on a global scale through actions. And feeling purified, know that in this moment we've taken a daring dive into the eternal now, where you're being infused with divine guidance for what you can specifically think, feel, say, not say, and do. Who you can join with to be able to effect the transformation that is possible. Never before in the history of existence has it been so possible to transform the forces of madness. And it's happening right now as we speak, and we're offering this for everyone and everything, and let wherever you are in time and space be like the biggest beacon of light, of love, radiating, because it's your nature to do so. And when the world has gone mad, you know that you have this place, this indestructible, secure place where you're fulfilling your life task. And I want to read a quote to you that was sent to me today by my beloved. And it's by a man named Matthew Kelly, who I've read some of his stuff, and it's beautiful. It says, the people we surround ourselves with either raise or lower our standards. They either help us to become the best versions of ourselves or encourage us to be lesser versions of ourselves. We become like our friends. No man becomes great of his own, or her own, or their own. No woman becomes great on her own, or his own, or their own. The people around them help to make them great. We all need people in our lives who raise our standards, remind us of our essential purpose, and challenge us to become the best versions of ourselves. Who are those people in your life? Have you called to them? Are you finding them? Are they finding you? Are you loving them? Are you letting them love you? Are you extending your circle? Are you knowing the truth of the strength in numbers and the natural contagious effect of the amplification of our soul energy when we come together? And it's a joyful energy, and it's also a not on my watch any longer energy. Who are your people? Who are your groups? Who are you joining with energetically to amplify and raise yourself so that you live the deep fulfillment of your life's purpose and purposes here on earth? Right now, in this moment, we are such friends for each other. And let's just breathe into that as we see with faith. I ask you from the tenderness of my being to have faith in me. Have faith in Cindy James. Have faith in what I'm bringing to this moment, to my life, and to the world. And have faith that it comes from the purest place that I know and that I'm continuing to transform, to raise my vibration. And I have faith in you. I have faith in your nature, your essential benevolence and merciful goodness, truth. And that you have the courage and strength to be able to radiate that infinite truth of who you are while continuing to transform any lower vibrational energies that we have here on planet Earth, so that we can use that energy for exactly where it's needed. And I'm asking all of us to have faith in humanity. Every single person in humanity. It is mad not to have faith in humanity. As I like to say, to smoke the crack pipe or the pipe of negativity about any one person will deplete us. And it doesn't mean we're in denial, and it doesn't mean we accept intolerable behavior. But if we don't have faith in their ultimate nature, we are adding fuel to those lower vibrational currents that seem to be having them by the short hairs, having them run amok, leaving their soul AWOL from their loving nature. And I invite us to have faith in something greater. However you know that there is an infinite genius that made everything from a blade of grass to a solar system, that there is an order that we can surrender into being part of. And part of that is having just put in front of us, like the buffet of infinite resources, so many people and organizations and ways of being that now are being grown and supported by the infinite forces of the heavens and the earth to transform the origins of war and the actions of war, to dissolve the origins of hate and the manifestations of hate, to go to the heart of the delusion of feeling separateness and advocate and radiate the truth of our oneness with the delicious flavor of each unique form. And I invite you, if you haven't already joined, to consider what it would take for you to join the forum that I have been inspired to create and now know with every fiber of my being was made for this moment in time, to join something called the Galactic Council of Women, All genders welcome, all gender expressions welcome. Where we energetically link and join together and receive the amplified energy of finding those friends that raise our vibrations, that encourage us knowing and living from our essential purposes. Like-spirited beings who are willing to let go of limited notions of shame and fear and small thinking and go for something greater and live into the actual superheroes that we are. Each one of us, actual modern day guardians of the galaxy. It is so very easy to be part of this. It's been made intentionally easeful, playful, enjoyable, so that it can be available globally at this time. And so, dear people, in this spiritual pep talk on when the world has gone mad, if you have to be mad for anything, be mad for positivity, be mad for your greatness, be mad for those that speak things that resonate with your soul, and join together with them and use the power of your imagination, which is exactly synonymous with the same power that created the heavens and the earth. And let's imagine a new way of being together. Let's envision it, feel it, create it. We are actually doing it. You are actually doing it. I am actually doing it. Don't let yourself be fooled by the seductive force of the lower vibrational energies. Don't let them keep you down another minute, another second. We are together now. We are one. And we are saying, quite enough now of you and your lower self current. It's time to simmer down and play nice, and play extraordinarily joyful. Deep breaths, great gratitude to all of the infinite support around us in this moment and in the eternal now, forever and ever, for everyone without exclusion. Amen. Alleluia. So be it. So hum. Jai Baba. Whoosh. Love and blessings, dear wonderful, wonderful people. Mwah.